She showed up to the well of ancestors. With the weight of past shackled to the ankles and wrists of her soul, she made her way down that familiar road like she had so many times before, accompanied by an empty water pot. They could have been twins the way the void inside of her resembled it. She felt like the center of an indifferent universe, the way her neighbors orbited around her at a safe distance. Her most meaningful encounters had been like shooting stars, glamorous for a moment, then all of a sudden, gone. All the promises they made her were supernova. She was a chaotic galaxy. Her soul a solar system without sun, her heart an earth post logos longing for light to be spoken into her life, but there was yet to be the voice of the Genesis to say, let there be light. So she just let it be. Maybe this is just how life was supposed to be. Why try for the A when you can settle for the B? Maybe this is just who she was supposed to be. Second-class citizen, half-breed. Her heart had grown callous, accustomed. Covered ears cast convictions call to the wind, along with the reason to look beyond her own flaws, her own lust. She abandoned joy and hope for the only life that she knew. This is what she knew, that a damaged and used water pot can never be made new again. She knew the way that led to that place that offered to tame her thirst for a moment but could never really satisfy. She knew that after a few days she would have to come back for more, but what else could she do? This is all she knew. She could no longer tell the difference. Her water pot of a heart had drawn from so many wells like well-dressed philanthropists who impressed her till she became the next accessory in their collection, or well-spoken, educated dudes who seduced and caused Nicholas Sparks writing eloquent love letters into the notebook of her heart. The way that they strolled her into infatuation was a walk to remember. And how many eyes did she draw like Stan Lee? They marveled. Fond of her tumbao, side to side, she played him like a violin, and what else could you expect? These contaminated waters had taken effect. Her heart had grown callous, accustomed. Covered ears cast convictions call to the wind, along with the reason to look beyond her own flaws, her own lust. She abandoned joy and hope for the only life that she knew. This is what she knew, that a damaged and used water pot can never be made new again. She knew being in her fifth relationship and not married was against the rules. She knew it was sinful. She knew of a God at one time her forefathers had spoken of. She knew of a Messiah one day would come, but what else could she do? Lust-filled, empty relationships is all she knew. Lust-filled, empty relationships is all she knew, and so she showed up to the well of ancestors. With the weight of past shackled to the ankles and wrists of her soul, she made her way down that familiar road like she had so many times before, accompanied by an empty water pot of a heart. As she approached, she noticed a rock sitting by the well, and though she had seen so many like it before, this one was different. This one spoke to her and had the nerve to ask her for water. She figured she'd remind him how these things work around here. How is it you, a Jew, ask me for water when Jews and Samaritans have nothing to do with each other, she demanded. Now, all else she was unsure, but one thing she knew. Rocks don't mix with pebbles. This rock of a man responded, if only you knew. If only you knew who it is that asks you for water. Now, we all know rocks don't talk. Rocks don't give water, and rocks can't call out the sins of your past, but this man was Sinai stone tablet in the flesh, with the word of God tatted to everything he said, because he himself was the word. And after all her years of sinful service and slavery and wandering through wilderness, he produced water that seemed to satisfy her thirst almost instantly. And though he knew everything she had ever done, this rock didn't stone her, but instead spoke to her. The same voice that spoke universe into existence reached out to redirect what inside of her for so long had been dead. All she had known till now was Jacob's well. What she needed was Israel's salvation. It's not till God confronts and wrestles with you, you experience transformation. She wasn't about to tap out, though. I get the feeling you aren't ordinary, she said. My ancestors worshipped on this mountain, but you Jews claim it's Jerusalem where we should worship. He responded, it's never been about the mountains. Just like for you, it was never about the wells. What you wanted was water. What you were looking for was love. There's a time coming, and it is now, where you will not worship on that mountain or this mountain. God is looking for worshipers in truth and in spirit. Mere knowledge of God will not be enough. What God is looking for is your heart. So it's okay. Give me your water pot, and I'll give you a fountain of everlasting water that can never be quenched. I know. One day the Messiah will come and reveal God to us, she said. The one who is speaking to you. I am.